In the late 1960s, a mysterious and chilling figure terrorized Northern California, leaving behind cryptic messages and a trail of bodies. Today, we'll delve into the enigma of the Zodiac Killer, exploring the brutal crimes, the cryptic messages, and the ongoing quest to unmask one of history's most notorious serial killers. Our story begins with the tragic tales of the Zodiac's victims. The first known victims were high school students Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday, who were gunned down on December 20th, 1968, near Vallejo, California. The senseless killing of two young, promising lives shocked the community. This marked the beginning of a reign of terror that would haunt Northern California. Just months later, on July 4th, 1969, Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mageau were parked at Blue Rock Springs Park in Vallejo. They were ambushed by a gunman who fired into their car. Darlene was killed instantly, while Michael survived, despite being shot multiple times. His eyewitness account would later become crucial. Darlene's murder added a sense of urgency and fear to the ongoing investigation. The late 1960s were a turbulent time in America, with social upheaval, anti-war protests, and civil rights movements. Amid this backdrop, the Zodiac's crimes stood out not just for their brutality, but for the eerie and taunting messages he sent to the media and police. The Zodiac seemed to revel in the chaos of the times, using it to his advantage. The community was gripped by fear. The idea of a random killer who could strike anywhere at any time was terrifying. Parents kept their children indoors and people avoided secluded areas, especially at night. The Zodiac's cryptic letters and ciphers only heightened the sense of dread as it became clear that he was toying with the police and the public. The Zodiac's first confirmed attack occurred on December 20th, 1968. Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday were on their first date, parked in a secluded area when they were ambushed. David was shot in the head and Betty Lou was shot multiple times in the back as she tried to flee. The brutality of the attack shocked the local community and set the stage for the Zodiac's reign of terror. Investigators found shell casings at the scene, but no significant clues. The lack of physical evidence would become a hallmark of the Zodiac's crimes. In the July 4th attack, shell casings were also found, but they provided no leads. This pattern of minimal evidence would frustrate investigators for years to come. Michael Mageau, who survived the July 4th attack, described a man approaching their car and shining a flashlight before opening fire. He later provided a description of the attacker, which helped create a composite sketch. However, the sketch was vague and did not lead to any concrete suspects. Michael's account was one of the few glimpses investigators had into the Zodiac's identity. On September 27, 1969, the Zodiac struck again at Lake Berryessa. College students Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard were relaxing by the lake when they were approached by a man wearing an executioner-style hood with a cross-circle symbol on his chest. He tied them up and then brutally stabbed them. Cecilia died from her injuries while Brian survived and provided a harrowing account of the attack. The attack at Lake Berryessa was particularly chilling because of the Zodiac's change in method and the symbolic and distinctive outfit he wore. On October 11, 1969, the Zodiac murdered taxi driver Paul Stein in San Francisco's Presidio Heights neighborhood. Unlike his previous attacks on couples, this was a deliberate, single-target killing. The Zodiac even took a piece of Stein's shirt as a trophy, which he later sent to the police along with taunting letters. This marked a shift in the Zodiac's pattern and demonstrated his ability to strike in urban areas as well as rural areas. The media played a significant role in the Zodiac Killer's notoriety. Newspapers published his letters and ciphers, spreading fear and fascination among the public. The Zodiac seemed to crave this attention, often addressing his letters directly to editors and daring them to publish his words. This relationship with the media helped the Zodiac become a national figure and a source of endless speculation and analysis. The Zodiac case quickly garnered intense media attention. Law enforcement agencies from different jurisdictions, including the Vallejo Police Department, the San Francisco Police Department, and the Napa County Sheriff's Department, joined forces to track down the killer. Despite their efforts, the Zodiac's elusiveness and cunning made the investigation incredibly challenging. Despite their efforts, the investigation was hampered by the killer's cunning and the lack of forensic technology available at the time. The Zodiac seemed to relish the cat-and-mouse game with authorities. He sent numerous letters to newspapers filled with cryptic ciphers and taunting messages. In one letter, he claimed to have killed as many as 37 people, although only 5 are confirmed. The investigative techniques of the time were simply not advanced enough to keep up with the Zodiac's tactics. The Zodiac ciphers added an extra layer of mystery. The most famous of these, the 408-symbol cipher, was cracked by a schoolteacher and his wife, revealing a disturbing message. However, other ciphers, including the notorious 340-character cipher, remained unsolved for decades until very recently. The complexity and cryptic nature of these ciphers fascinated and frustrated both professional cryptographers and amateur sleuths alike. Over the years, numerous suspects have been proposed. Arthur Lee Allen was a prime suspect due to his proximity to the crimes, possession of similar weapons, and a watch with the Zodiac symbol. However, his fingerprints and handwriting did not match those of the Zodiac. More recent theories include Gary Francis Post, whose alleged connection to the Zodiac has sparked renewed interest. The investigation into these suspects often led to dead ends, keeping the Zodiac's true identity shrouded in mystery. The public played a significant role in the investigation. Amateur sleuths and citizen detectives pored over the Zodiac's letters and ciphers, offering their own theories and insights. This widespread interest helped keep the case in the public eye, but also added to the noise and confusion surrounding the investigation. Many theories have emerged over the decades. Some believe the Zodiac had military training due to his marksmanship and use of cryptic codes. Others think he may have been a police officer or someone with insider knowledge of the investigation. These theories often stem from the Zodiac's apparent familiarity with investigative procedures and his ability to evade capture. The Zodiac's use of ciphers has fueled much speculation. The 340-character cipher, which was recently solved, read, "I hope you are having lots of fun in trying to catch me. I'm not afraid of the gas chamber because it will send me to paradise all the sooner, because I now have enough slaves to work for me." The chilling content only deepened the mystery of his motives. The unsolved ciphers continue to be a source of fascination as they may hold further clues to the Zodiac's identity. Experts have attempted to create a psychological profile of the Zodiac, suggesting he may have been a narcissist who craved attention and enjoyed the power he held over both his victims and the investigators. His letters often displayed a mix of arrogance and mockery, indicating a desire to manipulate and control the narrative around his crimes. Advances in DNA technology have led to renewed efforts to identify the Zodiac Killer. In recent years, forensic experts have attempted to extract DNA from the back of stamps and envelopes the Zodiac used, but so far no conclusive matches have been found. The potential for a DNA breakthrough keeps the hope alive that the Zodiac's identity might one day be revealed. In 2021, a team of independent investigators claimed that Gary Francis Post, a house painter who died in 2018, was the Zodiac Killer. They pointed to scars on his forehead that matched the composite sketch and cryptic messages they believed linked him to the crimes. However, law enforcement has not confirmed these findings. The claim has reignited interest and debate, but skepticism remains due to the lack of definitive evidence. The investigation into the Zodiac Killer remains active. Both law enforcement and amateur sleuths continue to search for new evidence and connections. The Zodiac's taunting letters and unsolved ciphers still attract attention, and every new piece of information is scrutinized in the hope of finally solving the mystery of who was the Zodiac. The Zodiac Killer's reign of terror remains one of the most chilling chapters in criminal history. His brutal crimes, taunting letters, and uncrackable codes have left an indelible mark on the collective psyche. The enduring mystery surrounding his identity continues to captivate the public and inspire endless speculation. What do you think? Who was the Zodiac Killer? Share your theories in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated on our latest mysteries. Join us next time as we uncover the terrifying story of the Golden State Killer, a predator who terrorized California for over a decade. We'll explore the brutal crimes, the investigative breakthroughs, and the eventual capture of one of the most notorious serial killers.